Hello and welcome to this module today about why weight loss will always slow down. Now that can be maybe a bit worrying to hear a little bit as part of this process, but you do get very aggressive losses in the early stages, and I think it's important to understand not only that it will happen that way, but also why it happens. And I think if that's the case and we are in control of that, we can really be empowered on this journey further to sort of understand it. And there are certain processes in place. Keep going with these processes and weight loss will continue. So weight loss is a calorie deficit. And I suppose the first reason why it slows down so much is, again, like I said, you get very aggressive losses early on. If you're going to be losing 4, 5, 6 pounds a week, well, you know, it's mighty unlikely. I'm sure we've all been on dieting phases in the past where we know it kind of slows down. But why? It's because as we lose weight, let's say, for example, you've got a 25 stone individual. Well, as we are heavier, we tend to burn more calories at rest. Because we're heavier, it's harder to move. But if we were walking to the bottom of the road and you start holding a 10 kilogram weight, it's harder to get down to the bottom of the road. And our body understands that. And because of that, it requires more calories at rest. But of course, with the goal in mind, as we start to lose weight, we're going to start burning less calories at rest. So because of that, the calorie deficit, the food you're consuming, is getting narrower, if that makes sense. The other end of the spectrum, in the early stages, you do eat a very low amount of food. And because of this, you are in a much bigger calorie deficit. But of course, there is a desire, and this is a very healthy thing to do, that over time you should be eating more food. No one wants to be eating 500, 600 calories the rest of their life. You go from eating liquids to more sort of normal food, more nutritious food, fuller foods. And with that in mind, again, basal metabolic rate going down, eating more calories over time, you're going to have a smaller calorie deficit. But this is no bad thing. The goal is fat loss. And as long as we're in a calorie deficit, we are losing body fat week to week. And this is why sometimes you hear stories of, oh, my weight stayed the same for 3 to 4 weeks, but my measurements are going down. You're losing body fat. The body is not just, when you're weighing yourself, it's not just fat. There's water weight, there's bone density, there's muscle mass, there's all these things that come into weight. And when people weigh themselves, they tend to be very focused on, is it going up or is it going down? When actually the bigger picture is, if you are doing the right processes, so you are eating the protein, you are getting your steps in mind, you are doing your exercise, you're getting your fluids in, you're doing all these processes that not only allow you to maintain a calorie deficit, but also feel energized while you're doing it, you will continue to lose body fat. And of course, over time, weight will catch up and it will continue to go down over time. And that is why weight loss slows down. It's nothing to be fearful of, it's nothing to worry about. Are you doing your bit? Are you doing the bit that your aftercare team are asking you to do? And trusting that process over time is a far more enjoyable process than worrying about it in this up and down nature. So yeah, that will be part of this process. It's okay. And always remind yourself of your average. So how many weeks are you post-op? So say, for example, you are 10 weeks post-op and you've lost a certain amount. Work out what your average is per week, because you do get those aggressive losses and then it slows down. But actually, the average is actually a very nice amount over time. I hope you enjoyed that module. I hope you got some value out of that. And yeah, please feel free to reach out for any more support going forward to the rest of the aftercare team.